Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Access Long Hair TV. Hey guys, I'm not in the studio at the moment. In fact, I'm pre-recording this from my studio, and we have started our traveling towards Europe. We're actually in Melbourne today, but the reason I'm pre-recording it here in the studio is for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to be hard for me to actually put a show up this week because we'll be flying at the time that I should be putting the show up on Monday night. But of course, because the other thing, which is really super important to me, as I just don't want to miss reaching out to all of you out there. I know all of you out there have become so used to seeing a new hairstyle every single week, and I don't want to disappoint. So I've decided to do a hairstyle this week. I pre-recorded it, and it's a hairstyle with using shorter hair, shorter hair around about sort of shoulder length. I did this a couple of weeks ago and it was really popular. We had some quite amazing comments come back because shorter hair is one of those things where, particularly when you've got a client whose hair's almost, if you know what I mean, too long to be short, but it's too short to be long. It's one of those sort of in between lengths, and so many people want their hair dressed like that. Now, I've chosen to dress this particular hairstyle. Last time I did a short head of hair, it was a very soft, a very casual, very simple hairstyle, and this time I'm doing quite an elegant hairstyle because sometimes there are brides that want things that are very elegant and very dressed. So this is a very dressed and very elegant hairstyle that I've put together for you. Okay, so let's have a little look at our hairstyle for tonight. Here we go. This is our hairstyle. You can see we've got that beautiful back area. We've got almost that French pleat feeling on the sides. And of course, we've got that lovely sort of top area that comes over. Okay, as you always know, every hairstyle I ever design is only designed for technique. What you do with it and how you work with it is totally up to you. Okay, let's get started and let's have a look at the mannequin and let's have a look at the hairstyle. Okay. So to show you now, let's have a look at how short the hair was. This is how short the hair is. And we're going to start off by taking a section out of the top. So I'm going to take out a rectangular shape from temple to temple back to the crown. Once again, and I stress this, if you've got softer pieces around the front, please feel free to leave those out if you want to create a softer look on this hairstyle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this right down the middle. There we go. Just take it right down the very middle like that. Once I've done that, I'm going to come back to the crown area and I'm going to take out a section. Now, this section is going to be used for decoration a little bit later on. So there we go. There's quite a nice big section. And I'm going to lay this right down the middle. We're going to come back to this section a little bit later on. But let's just take that now right down the very middle of the hair. Just place it into a section clip and keep it out of the way. Okay, having got that, we're now going to go onto the side area of the hairstyle. So pick up the right hand side, we're going to brush this right back and we're going to create a twist. There we go, brush it straight back, don't brush it down and don't brush it up, just brush it straight back. Now with that, once I've got it back there, I'm just going to start to twist the hair, and as I'm twisting the hair, I'm going to pull up. There I go. I'm going to start to take the hair now and let's start to pull this up as I'm going. So as I'm pulling up, I'm going to pull it up and then put it very flat onto the crown. There we go. See that? I've gone right back onto the head again. Now, once I've got that there, I'm going to place it into a section clip just to hold it. Make sure you've got it held really well. There it is. Now I'm going to make sure that the little piece that I left out, that remains down. So we'll put that into our clip. We'll come back to that later on, as I said. And we're going to repeat the same on the opposite side. Twisting it up, bringing it up very tight onto the top. Place it into your section clips. Now, there it is. Now pinch them together and we're going to create sort of a double roll. Taking your hair grip, take a small amount of the edge from one side and a small amount of the edge from the opposite side. Now you might want to put 2 or 3 hair grips there. Once I've gone up, I'll often come down as well. Once again, I only take the edges of both sides. That way the pin goes in quite nice and easily. There's our little tail still hanging out, which we'll come back to a little bit later on. Now the remaining tails up on the top, this is the tails from the twist, just roll them around your finger and we'll place that up on the top. We're not going to create a big design with that, we're just placing them up on top. There we go, everything's nice and secure, and there's our tail out. Now we're going to come to the very top area and we're going to put a very small amount of backcombing at the roots only. You can see I'm only backcombing literally about 2 or 3 pieces. So I sort of go in and backcomb only about 2 or 3 brush strokes, and that's enough. Then I start to smooth the hair out and I start to position this how I want. Now, of course, you can do whatever you want to do to the front. I'm just keeping it very simple and very elegant. You can see I really use my section clips here just to hold everything in place. Then I bring the tails down and I join it in with the tail that I had left out. Now we just use the tail that was in the middle and the tails from the top to form our final decoration. Look how elegant this is. It's so simple and so beautiful. I'm going to put a couple of hair accessories into the style just to finish it off and give it that final sort of look of elegance. I love this hairstyle because it's so simple, and very simple hair often just looks beautiful, doesn't it? This is the sort of thing you'd see in Vogue, just very clean, very pulled back, and that look really does, I think, is quite reminiscent of almost vintage hair, isn't it? That sort of very vintagey look. It's almost like a French pleat, but not quite. It's a little bit more than that. So here we go. Here's our finished look with twists on either side and that beautiful bouffant top with that lovely decoration at the very back. As I always say, put your own spin on it. Change it however you want. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the hairstyle. Again, as I say, this was a very dressed look, so it wasn't a soft one. It wasn't sort of a casual hairstyle. And as I say, sometimes some people really do like very dressed hair. So on this show, I try and address everything, so that everybody's got sort of a style they might like. So make sure you join me next week on Access Long Hair at 8 o'clock UK time. Again, we will be traveling. I'll be in Germany, and I will do a shout out from Germany, and of course I have another beautiful hairstyle for you. So guys, lots and lots of love. We'll see you all very, very soon. I'll see you from Germany. Lots of love. Bye.